You know, thought it was a really good team win by us. I thought our guys played, really hard. Beat a team that's very difficult to defend with the way they run their offense. They average 84 points a game, and to hold a team like that under 60 takes a heck of an effort. So I'm very proud of our guys. We forced 20 turnovers. That's something we've done pretty much all year, is force turnovers, and we did it again tonight. So I thought our energy and activity defensively was good. And then there's a lot of things we continue to improve on. So we have to continue to work as we go forward. But I was really happy with the overall team effort.
Obviously, they're kind of a similar team to Stetson. They're going to, shoot it from long range, and obviously you weren't happy with that last week. So how did the hard week in practice, Darius kind of alluded to, which the work you guys put in, how did that pay off today?
Well, I thought it paid off because I thought we were more active. We were flying around. We had more of awareness on shooters, and even though they still knocked them down, that's what they do. They knocked a number of them down. I thought they were more challenged. They were more difficult. And that's what you have to do. At this level, people got players on teams that can really shoot the basketball, and you have to try to make them miss. You can't just hope they're going to miss. So I thought our guys' effort, our guys rotating and covering for each other was as good as we've had, this year.
Tough week in practice then since the Stetson loss. Did you see the results of that tough practice in this game?
Yes, I did. That's what you want to see. We talked to our team about, how we have to respond, coming off a game. That was a tough game for us. So we had to regroup, and I thought our guys did regroup. We regrouped all week. We worked on the things we had to improve on, and then I thought we responded with a really good, overall performance defensively, and I thought our offense complemented that by how we played with our pace and the things that we want to do offensively.
So would you say that having a longer week instead of only a few days after the Stetson loss was just good for the guys to reset?
I thought it was exactly right. We had a chance to definitely kind of reset, regroup, and find out who we are. And I thought through those practices, we had some intense practices. Guys really got after it. You saw more leadership coming up. You saw guys being more vocal, guys, with a sense of urgency. And that's what you have to have. And I thought they responded in the game that way, and that's what you want to see as you're going forward. Because I'm learning more about these guys every game, as you know. And I think today, for instance, a guy like Chi-Chi, who started probably his first game for us since he's been with us, I thought he did a good job in that role. We played him at a different position. We started him for the first time. And that can be a big challenge for any young player. But I thought he responded by, giving us a great effort, 12 points, 6 rebounds in his minutes. So he was very productive for us.
At the very beginning of the game, there was kind of that scoring drought, but you guys got out of it. But how were you able to get them to, start scoring?
Well, I tell you what, when you have a lineup out there, and it's an unusual lineup because you have Chi-Chi at the 3, Silla at the 4, and Omar at the 5. So, you don't have really true perimeter guys out there except for DJ and Jalen. So we were trying to play through them a little bit to try to score. But you give Lipscomb's credit. They had game planned us very well. They had time to prepare for us. And so they took some things away that we normally, look to go to. So then after that, I thought a real good sub was subbing in Shamari. I thought Shamari came in and gave us great energy, made some plays defensively, got us out and running, got some offense off our transition and the break. And I thought that kind of really got us, over the hump as far as, seeing the ball go in and getting some momentum offensively.
I know it's still kind of early. You're still, obviously tinkering with lineups. But what was the thought process behind that? Is that just something you saw matchup-wise, or is that something you think is better for your team moving forward?
Well, no, it didn't happen. It happened because we had a guy go down in practice, and so he didn't really practice yesterday. So Shamari was out the lineup because he missed practice yesterday, and so very rarely will I start someone who doesn't practice the day before the game. So that's what he was in that situation, no fault of his own. So we ended up having to tweak the lineup because of that. But as far as practice was going, I thought everybody was practicing with a level of intensity. They were making each other better. They were competing every single possession, and we have to continue to build on that going forward.
What's DeMar's status?
Still getting close. Thought he was kind of there maybe this game, but wasn't quite there yet. And so we're going to be, cautious and make sure he's ready to go when he feels really good and can go out and contribute. Because the last thing you want to do is to put him out there too early and have another setback. So we're going to continue just to bring him along, and hopefully he'll be back sooner than later because he's a guy that can help us with his experience. Defensively he's good. He's good with the basketball in his hands. So we miss him, but want to get him back the right way.
You used a lot of your bench tonight. There was a time period, maybe midway through the second half, that you went with an extended time period, I felt like, with Tyler and Nils and Comey. What was the intent, and did you see what you wanted to see from those guys?
So a lot of young guys on the floor out there. But, I had confidence in those guys. We had been in this situation before. And, I just wanted those guys to get out there and allow our players that play, log a lot of minutes to be able to get more time, to rest. Because the way we're playing and picking up in the full court, pressing and running, it takes a lot of energy. So you have to have a deep bench and guys that you can trust and count on to be able to come out there and contribute. I thought during that stretch when they cut it to around 10, I thought Tyler's three was a big shot for us. Tyler's three, I thought Comey's three. Those guys both made big plays for us because they were ready. It's one thing I can have confidence in you. That's why I put you in the game, but it's your confidence that keeps you in there. And they made plays, and that just continues to give us confidence that they can continue to help contribute.
How important is this last month, the month of December, before you guys jump into conference play next month?
It's hugely important for us. We have to continue to get better. We have to continue to get our rotations down. We have a lot of new pieces, as we mentioned before. The only way you can do that is to go out and play in these type of games and compete and learn about one another. Learn who we can put in situations, which combinations work well for us. All those things are going forward. We have to be aware of, and I think we are. And we'll get better from these games that we're playing because, as you know, you guys are watching college basketball. And you've heard me say it a million times. There's so much parity in college basketball. It's no longer where you look at a team's name on the front of the jersey and thinking, oh well, that team is is this way and another team is something different. Everybody has good players and everybody has good teams. They're well coached, and so you're going to be challenged every time you step foot on the floor. I thought we were challenged tonight again. Every time we built a big lead or a good lead, they chopped it. People have players that are capable of shooting the ball well enough that no lead is safe. So you got to keep playing for 40 minutes.
Payne, with four fouls in 4 minutes of action, what do you need to see from Omar?
I need to see Omar continue to, get comfortable, in his role with us. He's no longer where he was. He's playing for us. He needs to get comfortable in that role. He needs to understand, how do I pick up my fouls? We're showing him those things. How am I picking up my fouls? Are there some things that are common that I can, avoid putting myself in those situations? And we're going to keep teaching him, and it's a process. He has to understand to avoid fouls. You have to be very disciplined defensively. You have to be in the right places. These are the things that keep you from picking up, cheap fouls. So I think this will be a lesson that he'll learn. 4 fouls in 4 minutes, as you mentioned, is pretty tough. So I think he'll be better from this experience going forward.
What do you hope he brings to you when he is on the court?
I want him to bring us a defensive presence, in the paint. He can block shots, he can alter shots. We need him to rebound the basketball. And on the offensive end, I just need him to be just poised. And, I think he's a capable shooter on the perimeter from 15 to 20 feet out. I think he can knock down that shot. I think he can score around the basket. And so, basically, I need him to defend, rebound, and just finish the offensive plays that are in front of him. If he can do those things, he can really contribute to our team, and we need him to do those things.
Darius Johnson, 19 points, 3 for 6 from three-point range, 7 for 12 overall. What are your thoughts on his performance tonight?
I thought he had a really good floor game. As you mentioned, you look at the stat sheet, I think you'll see him having numbers in most of the categories, and that's what you want to see. You want to see a player that's active. I thought he defended real well. I thought he got after it defensively. I thought offensively he played with real good pace, pushing the basketball the way we want to play. So on both ends, I felt his presence on the floor. And then, of course, like I said, we know he can shoot. You guys haven't seen as much as we do because we're in practice every day. And he knocked down the shots that he typically knocks down every day in practice. And so it was really good to see him, play the way we see him play. I'm sure if you ask our players, the way he plays every day in practice, which was good to see. And I hope he can continue to build on it.
How important was it to see some other guys pick up where Jalen had maybe a bit of an off night for him?
Well, it was good to see. We want to have depth, and we need guys to be able to pick up the slack when guys aren't having maybe their A-game night. And so that's why I said Chi-Chi. I thought Chi-Chi gave us a huge lift in that role. I thought the guys off the bench, Tyler and Comey, gave us a lift in that role as well. So when you have guys that are capable of coming in and chipping in, that really makes it a little bit easier for everybody else. It takes the pressure off a guy like Jalen to feel he has to be able to do that every night because he knows he has guys he can trust that can help in that area.
All set?
All right.